It's Mr Macmillan.
Thank you very much, Presiding Officer. I actually quite enjoyed Tim Eagle's addition for the fringe comments a few moments ago, but I'm pleased that this budget will pass today. The First Minister has made clear his focus is on delivering on the people's priorities. That's eradicating child poverty, growing the economy, improving public services like our NHS, and also tackling the climate emergency. Now, the engagement from the Greens, the Lib Dems and Alba on this budget has been welcome, and it has provided a level of reassurance that the process would not be dragged out, which actually leads to a sense of uncertainty for local government, businesses and also the wider public. Now, I welcome the record £2 billion increase in frontline NHS spending, taking overall health and social care investment to £21 billion, including an increase in capital spending power of £139 million from 24-25.
Brian Whittle, briefly.
Very grateful for Stuart Macmillan to take an intervention. It's not actually the health budget that I have a problem with, it's how the Scottish Government direct it. I wonder if the member doesn't recognise that it's the underinvestment in policies such as development and adoption of healthcare tech and AI, as well as the lack of investment in the ability to have people be active. It's actually causing the need to continually increase the budget with
Stuart Macmillan.
Areas where Brian Whittle and I will actually agree on when it comes to aspects of health, and I do genuinely feel as if there can be more investment into the use of technology to help in terms of a preventative approach. But I would also gently remind Brian Whittle that we've had 14 years of Conservative austerity before 14 years of Conservative austerity before Labour also won the election, and they are continuing some of that austerity since they came into power last year. I also welcome the record £15 billion of local government to support the services that communities rely upon, committing to matching the UK Government by raising the earnings threshold for carer support payment and carers allowance to £196, providing £768 million for affordable homes, enabling over 8,000 new properties for social rent, mid-market rent and low-cost home ownership to be built this coming year, restoring the universal winter heating payment to every pensioner household, and developing the systems necessary to effectively scrap the impact of the two-child cap in 2026. And I want to highlight some other aspects of the budget. I welcome the additional £1 million for hospices, taking the total support to £5 million, as I know how challenging hospice funding actually is. Now, for Argyll Hospice in one constituency, they advised me that it costs approximately £11,000 per day to run their services. This is why I do think we still do need to go further when it comes to hospice funding, and there's been a variety of colleagues from across the chamber who very much support a look and a thorough examination of hospice funding. Hospice finances, we know hospice finances are to be raided, like other finances that be raided by Labour's UK Government through the increased employers' national insurance contributions, demonstrating how decisions taken in Westminster impact devolved areas, especially financially. Now, as the Labour UK Health Secretary Wes Streeting stated last year, and I quote, "All roads lead back to Westminster." So the financial hit our public and third sector organisations are to attempt to deal with are the sole responsibility of the Labour UK Government. That's why I support the calls for the UK Government to fully fund this raid on third and public sector organisations. Inverclyde Council hasn't yet set its budget, and that's going to happen next week. However, the first 7.1% of any increase in council tax is Labour's tax to own. Another welcome announcement in the budget is the £158 million uplift for the education and skills portfolio, including additional investment and additional support for learning. Also, this will see an extra £28 million delivered through the local government settlement to improve support for children with additional support needs. I highlight this particular example as childcare provision and support in schools for pupils with ASN is one of the key issues that local SNP councillors and myself have been working on over the last year, as local parents have highlighted the challenges they face in accessing sufficient support for their children. Now, Presiding Officer, Scottish taxes are often a bone of contention when it comes to the budget, and we've already heard that this afternoon as well. Now, we know household incomes are tight, But we need to raise funds to invest in services, not strip them of monies. So the austerity approach only harms those who are most vulnerable and risks costing the government more money in the long run. As I touched upon a few months ago, we've had 14 years of austerity. People at the lower end of the financial income ladder cannot deal with any more austerity. I'm sorry I took an intervention earlier on. I therefore welcome the fact that Scottish taxes are forecast to raise £24.6 billion in 25-26, which is £1.7 billion more than if Scotland had followed UK policy on tax. Now, this is £777 million higher than forecast in December 2023, and due in part to increased income tax revenue because of average earnings growing faster than the rest of the UK. Now, this budget is a good budget. It delivers for our constituents, and the electorate will know who is on their side with this budget. So those who don't support it will need to own their failure to deliver for the people of Scotland. Thank you very much.